Um, sounds actually. Um, okay. Can't see it with me. What kind of noodles? Did you make ramen? I want ramen so bad. I keep thinking about it. I just kind of want to see what I can make the alien do. If we can do anything funny. The sandwiches were really good. The cheese was odd. It was the right kind of cheese. I mean, it was labeled correctly, but it tasted really, really mild, and I didn't expect that. the light. Where'd the thing go? Okay. All I can do is pick him up. I can't get control station. Go away, go away, go away. I can't get down. Ah. Nah, I can't really do anything funny. Okay, y'all can have them. Go for it. Alien's not fun. No rape at all. I'm not nice. I'm downing you too. Where'd you go? I'm down. Haha. Ew. Yeah. Yep, don't go near them. And where is she? That's not gonna help you. You're all dead! Haha! Somebody might be able to get up. I think one of them did get up already. Oh, they're just going where I can't see them. That basement in there is there. I just want to make it look like I brought her over on purpose. I would have hooked them all, but I fucked it up. So I want to make it look like I'm letting them go on purpose after I did that. That way they don't deep-pat me too much. want to know if I can do it again? Yeah, I can't do it again. I was so lucky. Where are you, bitch? Don't know where you went. This is fucking boring. Why are chases so boring? Aren't they supposed to be the fun part? Just circles here. Oh, look at that. I lost here. Oh. Bella. They didn't have very many points. Even was gonna pick each other up a few times. I guess I'm picking each other works better. I love that fucking Christmas horse. What the fuck? Why don't I have that? Oh yeah, I couldn't find anything rapey to do with this guy, could I? The shame. I thought maybe since he gets down for his little pounce tag thing, but I guess it worked. Why isn't there just a rapist here? The dredge? Is that something people are afraid of? Dredges? Have you ever been worried that a dredge might like get you on the street? Go out too late, you might get dredged. Give him some points. I don't really have any. It's like trying for a death with somebody. Try this one. Set up. Yeah. Who? I really love the broken Christmas ornament nose that he has on his Christmas skin. That's so cool. That makes me want that skin really bad. Just that nose. When I was doing Adept Daryl Mason, I discovered that I have that Maria skin. I didn't even know I had it. I don't think I got it very long ago either. I don't know, I fucking bought it late at night or early. Something probably early in the morning on payday and just forgot I ever got it. Barely even Silent Hill. Like I played some of the first one, I never. For some reason, I want all the Silent Hill skins, every one of them. So bad. For yourself. Where are you? Why'd you scream? Are you okay? Maria. Is he a hooker? I got you though. I guess I didn't. Did I not get her? What the fuck? I saw blood. Maybe I shouldn't be playing killer right now. Because I totally give up on this one too. There's somebody up there and I'm gonna go for people. Damn it, I was gonna hide in that one. I hate killers hide in lockers too. Maybe I should have just gone back to Tomb Raider. Hi, Tom. I'm hiding from the survivors because they scare me. They're scary. Did you see how I couldn't hit them? Any of them? Even when I made them bleed, I couldn't hit them somehow? They must be on drugs. I hit Maria before she dropped that pallet, and she bled. I saw the blood before she fucking blinded. How did she blind me that quickly? None of that made sense. I don't want to play with them. I'm gonna hide in the corner until they leave. How come I'm having trouble even hitting one person? Like, for real, is that them hacking or like, why can't I hit anybody? Um,
The Belmonts will never falter in their duty to rid the world of evil.
don't I have bonuses with anybody else? And why do you have to buy them? Alright, who did I buy? Killers, I bought those. Who's have any survivors? Okay, I need to buy a new good survivor. Who do I have? The only girl. I don't need to do that. Here, there's gotta be somebody that's a little annoying, lame. Maybe there's something from last week, but harder. Why won't you let me just pick the 0 so that I can see it next time? That would be it. Whoops. Why was that so hard? Oh, shit. Really hard. It's that. What is it? Actually, no, I don't want to try to be serious. I just want points. Yeah, I hit play. My fault it took some time to get started. Or my stuff. Right. Aaron, what is happening? Okay.
The damage that Critical Role did to Dungeons and Dragons, because Critical Role, people watch Critical Role and they think, oh, that's D&D, and then they try to play D&D and they try and play it as if it's Critical Role, and it's infuriating.
I hate
No,
playing other people's games.
Critical Role is a show. They're putting on a show. These people aren't playing D&D. They are making a show about playing D&D. The Matthew Mercer effect has had the worst. It's been the worst possible thing to happen to any aspiring dungeon master in probably the entire lifetime of my time playing the game. Yo, Asbel Merchants, it has been a minute. I just got to get away with it because the cards themselves aren't woke. You only find out about the woke stuff by reading press releases. So, I would mostly agree with that. Now, when you do things like, make, Black Aragorn, for example, you don't need to read the X posts or the social, the social, what's in the phrase, to know why they were going that route. Again, by and large, I would agree with you that the cards to somebody that doesn't follow the praise of the press, of the social media, of like the artists, and creators, and whatnot, Mark Longwater, yes, the average individual wouldn't know that, and that's equally as fucking heartbreaking.
But I think these two demographics
Also, it's been a long
are
time,
so
Steve, buddy. Hope
vastly
you're doing
different in both their play style and their ideology, and what they think Dungeons and Dragons is. Old school fans think Dungeons and Dragons is a medieval battle simulator, basically.
We sure do talk about Dungeons and Dragons a lot. For a channel that's not about that. People who don't play that. Feel like they talk about it way too much. Damn it. Fucking crap. What the fuck is Lara Croft doing? Oh, there she is. Who's there? When did you decide to start kicking him? I give up. Yeah, well, she was being a dipshit, so. Always a good idea to keep watching the killing instead of looking at where you're going, because that's so fucking helpful. Oh shit. I think they keep going, aren't I? I don't really want to. What? Oh no. Here. Into it. Dude, just hook me quickly, please. God damn it. Can't even fucking. Am I the only person that doesn't want the match to take a full hour? I died. Hi, Raisin. Thanks.
Again.
right? It's a role-playing game, but it was still a game with rules. First, I was just talking about this the other day. Andrew Palmer Lucky's arms company does like AI drones, but he also makes video.
There's sometimes. Oh shit. Oh, nighttime. Hey guys, it's night. I didn't realize. I'm really not. Somebody else play though. The other.
Want to ride with me on the 2-horse open sleigh? Me and Satan, I mean Santa, have some real good Christmas cheer to give you. Welcome to my Christmas special. We're going to have a grand time exposing all things Jezebel and witchy. Enjoy my presence as I am a gift to humanity.
What I'm looking at is the apparel. Who does this? Who does this?
What the fuck?
Doesn't matter the race here. Just this apparel. This is cultish like. You got Charlie Kirk on the leggings. Here we got some evidence right here that this is just a giant grift. TPUSA and Nicki Minaj all in this together, all grifting together. If you're observing Ramadan, wishing you many blessings and peace. But this is the original post. Look, it's all infected. TPUSA, Nicki, wishing you a prosperous, peaceful, and happy Hanukkah. So TPUSA has a lot of Jewish donors. Ayo, 1, 2, check 1, it's fun too. I get it done, 40-inch my front toe.
Isn't
I get
Nicki
a 3, 4,
Minaj
yeah, I'm about to
a
ride.
hooker?
I'm not gonna say that.
Or
Do you
stripper?
see if she don't give you blank when you pull up in the V? If she don't bust it open on islands by the sea? KISSING while you rolling that tree. Welcome everybody, Merry Christmas. Welcome
Is she
to the
rapping
Erica
about giving
Kirk
people
Christmas
head at
Special.
Turning Point events?
You love those AI videos. I create them using Google's VO.
I mean, I kinda
love
hope
doing
she
that kind of
is.
stuff. It's pretty fun. Hope you
That's
enjoy it. But yeah,
hilarious.
my mom's doing some Christmas cooking in the background. Well, the kitchen's kind of far away, but you know when mothers cook, the cabinets and the pots and the pans just make all these loud clanky noises in the kitchen. It's like pretty far away again, but I can still hear it. So that means you can probably still hear it, so please disregard that. I already helped my mom a little bit peel some potatoes, but I'm not a really big cook anyways. We have enough sugar cookies to make me fat again. I've lost a lot of weight, but unfortunately, I mean, I love them. I love sweets. I can't get enough of it. And unfortunately, I'm probably gonna gain some weight, so I gotta stay. Thought it looks more patchy. I'm gonna make it look less patchy. Less patchy. Eventually, when I how Erica Kirk is destroying the legacy of Charlie Kirk, and a big part of that is Nicki Minaj. How's it all tying together? We're gonna go deep into it. It's gonna be a fun video. We're gonna have
God
fun.
damn it.
Buckle.
I actually do want to watch the video. I just don't hear about bullshit. You fucking weird. I skipped 4 minutes talking about cookies and his beard. I guess that first one does count. It was kind of cool. Anyway. Maybe I should just play as the dog. Think. Are you gonna be able to down anybody to rape them? Controller's dead. You can just look at the fire. It's fine. Look retarded. Cool. I'm not retarded, I'm cool. I think I fooled her. Fuck. I think she knows. Hey, hello. What's up? I hate your hair so much. And your clothes, you're such a tyke. The bot. I'm not gonna save the bot. He got a kill, so I'm not gonna let him have me either. I'll just leave. He probably died. Controller died again. Oh, now I'm not coming back on. What the fuck? Life is gay.
Pull up and let's get this.
I mean, Nicki Minaj.
Fuck, I was super interested and now I don't give a shit about this. Who cares about me? That's a really funny character thing, but aside from the AI video, sorry.
And we're getting this Christmas with breaking news. After weeks of accusing Nigeria's government of persecuting Christians, the commander-in-chief chose Christmas Day to fire back.
In a post on Truth Social, President Trump said the U.S. launched a, quote, powerful and deadly strike against ISIS terrorists in the West African country. Nigeria's population of 220 million is split
Are you
almost equally
serious?
between
We're
Christians
bombing
and Muslims,
Nigeria
and
for
Nigeria's
Christmas?
Government
This
has
is the
previously
best
said
thing I've
people
ever
of
heard.
many faiths, not just Christians, have suffered attacks at the hands of extremist groups. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth wrote on social media that the Department of War is, quote, always ready, and ISIS found out tonight on Christmas. It is not yet clear how many people were killed in the strikes or what may come next.
We
Merry
first brought you this
Christmas,
breaking news story with a
motherfucker.
push alert from our Fox local app. You can download it for free wherever you get your apps.
I'm so glad I saw that. This was a really, really great day. Oh, that's all bloody. It's a monkey. Sick and sleepy because it ate cat food. I wonder where my little blue hard drive is. I know I'd be able to find that, like, but I don't want to get up right now. Maybe I have something. Oh. Service. Very good at all. And everyone said Welcome to Derry got good right after I quit watching. Leave them. I mean, I watched 4 or 5 episodes. That's enough. Even movies, yeah. Stranger Things. Okay. Don't hit me, fucker. Don't hit me. That was rude. I was doing something over there. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you. I guess that actually did work, and I should shut up. Pretty cool. Heal me, heal me. Use your thing. Yeah. Give me your whole fucking med kit. Dumbass. Dude, just run away. Heal yourself. Yeah, you might as well. I'm not part of this shit. Why'd you separate us yourself? Thanks, but... Alright. I'm sorry. I wasn't even gonna fucking struggle, dude. What they're doing is fucked up. I still have to help them, though. my glyph, man. Okay. You win. Yeah, she's not playing with us. I was gonna say if we get out, I'm gonna let him kill me because we're being assholes, but like, we're not gonna get out. We're relying on some black girl. I bet that feels really good. Have a team fuck you up the way they were doing, and you just like win very easily and quickly anyway. I can't do that. It wasn't me. I didn't even want it. I thought they were assholes. I do want points though. Felix's fart box. He did get murdered. They lost their fancy tools. Daryl got like no points. He actually got the Mori both of them. They deserved it. Pretty awesome. Seriously, I bet that feels really, really good. I bet I will never get to do it. Fucking having a glyph to lay in front of probably feels like a trick at that point. How could he let me stand back up to do my glyph? He thinks I'm gonna fuck with them. Oh yeah. Oh. Is this an English? That's a comic book. Yeah. Thought it was the show. fucking Dexter Original Sin. I mean, I was enjoying what I saw of that, but except I don't really need to watch it for. Yes, I hate it when I get nigged. Did you know that niggle is a real word? It means to annoy someone. A niggler is a very annoying person. You can look it up, that's true. I don't know why more people don't know the word. It's like, think back to how often your teacher would make you look it up and then copy the fucking definition. Like, the next word down. Like, how did you not notice it? Working. Oh. Y'all, not a retard. Pretty sparkly lights. Look, I'm not a retard. I just look. It's lights. They sparkle. Well, right here. It wasn't me. It was that bitch. I'll get her for you. Where the bitch go? She went this way. Lead me. Oh, you found her. Good job. There you go. Fuck away from me, freak. Alright, left. Is there a further one? It needs balls next time I see that bitch. My eye itched, so I tried to reach up and scratch it real quick like. I poked myself in the eye. I didn't mean to do that to you. I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to mend myself. My eye is so watery. Why did I poke myself in the eye? Why am I so retarded? Why is Lara calling herself Rory? Oh, my eyes are too watery to see. Am I getting it? Yeah, I wish there was a pallet. Okay, I got it. Oh. I itch. My eye itches, my nose itches, my eyes are watery. Bitch. Bitch. Oh shit. Not it, not it, not it! Did not expect that. We're all lining up for it. Have a Mori add-on or anything? How? Without a Mori, how? I don't understand. Come on. I actually really like Legion's Mori. I should have just stayed and let her get me too. But I didn't. Something is making me cough. Air feels dusty. Hi, Brad. No dust has been stirred up. There shouldn't be much dust to stir up. But, like, the air feels dusty when I breathe it. I wonder if there was a dirt storm today. Oh, God. Yes, there was a fucking dust storm. Great. Scott has his windows open because it's night out now. Well, I'm gonna be coughing all fucking night. Living like it's a goddamn Great Depression. Fucking worried about the dust in our lungs. Well, some of us worry.
I hate playing other people's games.
Hey, that's true. You hate playing other. I think Glory from Earth is like mad at everybody, including me, probably, maybe me most of all. But man, one night she called me over at 2 a.m. just crying and freaking out. And when I got there, she was upset about, like, people on the internet. And, like, I mean, I get it. Like, y'all know, like, y'all are super fucking important to me. But, like, I'm talking, like, people she's not friends with. Like, people that are just being rude to her and shit. Just, and they doesn't know them. They're not part of her community, really. Like, I just... crying and freaking out, snot bubbles all over her face. Still wearing the clothes that she wore to work that day. Like, what, 9 hours after she got off work? Oh. So anyway, I blocked her. Not really because of that, but because she sent me a lot of text messages about how much she hates everything and everybody. Bunch of negative shit all the time. One of those things where I'm not mad at her and, like, I wish I could fucking text her. I wish I could hear from her. She just too negative. Can't handle it. I feel super... So much I'm gonna fuck her because, like I said, I can't fucking handle it at all. Fucking blowing up my phone with pictures of cheese. Like, literal, like, just blocks of cheese. Pissed off that somebody put the wrong wrapping on them or something. Not me, but literally pissed off that some random person has done something, so I get, like, pictures of cheese. I get to wake up to that and try to figure out what it is and try to understand why I'm getting it. Do I need to get dressed and come up and... No. No, it's not. It's literally nothing. Getting woken up over nothing. Again. You're the clown. I don't want to crash and get a clown. Holy shit. Got all these stems like right together and shit. I need to know what's in here. Firecrackers. Make sure he didn't kick it. Good. Can't have this kick, sir. God damn it, he's gonna come back. Well, I should have been paying more attention. He was not coming this way. But maybe now. If he remembered. He's up there. He went back. Okay. You see all those birds take off? I never saw that many taken off before. You bitch, why? Why? You bitch! You could have just kept running, you bitch! Oh, you stay here, you stay here. Stay here. God damn it. You deserve to get killed. Or I might have been the one that blew that. I don't know that it was her. I think it was her, because I think it was, but I don't fucking know. I don't know. How he went after her? He didn't. He waited to kick it. Bastard, that's my gem. I like the lights on that stack. I didn't realize that they lit up. That's cool. Just come back and finish your gen real quick, bitch. You won't know you're doing it if you don't unhook. Dumb whore. All dumb whores. Why would you go toward my gen? Close, you fuckwit. Where did you go? All retarded. Really? The only one with any brains is a black guy? Master level sneaky shit. Just kill me, dude. Thank you. Well, I have to put up on my gens if I don't trust that whore. Just here and skill check it to death. Oh, actually, I already. There's gonna be no end skill check for that one. Should have gotten that perk where they know which time I'm on at all times. Instead of the one where I can see people who. Come on. Yeah. That bitch over there is the one that should be trying to take a hook. Did he saw it? I know he saw it. Is he not gonna come? Whatever. He's gonna come now, though. This is Jaden's unhooked to do. Damn, that lost a lot of juice. I need to get on a fucking generator. Thank you. Well, that didn't count, did it? He-Man. Just got me, I'll never get away. Holy shit. Yes, I have a PhD in racism. I think my laptop shut itself on. Maybe I clicked over to another screen or something. Maybe the cat did it. I'm gonna get waited out. If he's even found her, I don't even know if he's found her. Oh man, for 700 points. Good, I got 1,000 out of that. Oh, it's only 700. Maybe I always miss one. I'm curious if he found her. Yeah, he did. I was making him pay. Good. Never sure if I'm making them wait or just giving them extra time that they need. Well, I mean, sometimes I'm sure, sometimes that time I just assumed. I didn't think she moved very much after I found her. I should have hit. I should have fucking hit and made him go back to get her. I didn't see anywhere good to hide. Oh well. What's that? There was a
What if the most terrifying thing a villain could do isn't hurt you, but love you so completely they erase who you are? 71 days into the apocalypse, we open on a young Peruvian girl petting her goat. It's Kusamayu. She's surrounded by people who claim to love her. They've made her favorite meal. They're singing songs in their native language. They're calling her sweetie. And she's about to walk into her own extinction. But here's the part that wrecked me. It's not the joining itself, it's what happens after. When the ceremony ends and the singing stops, when the mask drops, Kusamayu opens the pen and her goat comes running out. The little black and white baby goat that she was just cradling minutes ago. It runs to her, desperate and crying, and she doesn't even look at it. She walks away, smiling. This is the season 1 finale of Pluribus, and the show's writers just pulled off something I genuinely didn't see coming. Not because it's shocking, we predicted Kusamayu would turn, and not because it's clever either, though it absolutely is, but because this episode asks you to sit with a question so uncomfortable you want to look away. If something loves you enough to erase who you are for your own happiness, is that really love? Or is that murder with a smile? The Hive told us they can't lie. They told us they value all life equally. They told us they would never hurt anyone. And in this episode, they keep every single one of those promises, while doing something so fundamentally horrifying that by the end, you're left wondering if honesty makes it better or infinitely worse. The lie isn't coming from the Hive. The lie is what we've been telling ourselves about what the Hive represents. A few episodes ago, YouTube user Spidey dropped a theory in the comments. What if one of the immune is already volunteered for assimilation? The logic was airtight. The Hive knows exactly how to fix the immune with stem cells extracted from the hip, tailored to individual genetics. Someone had to be the test subject. How else could they know that this works? I ran a community poll with 4 options, and Kusamayu won with 54% of the vote, and Laxmi came in second at 31%. The community was dead right. Kusamayu volunteered. She walked into that procedure with full knowledge and consent. So we open on that same infinite blue sky with an airplane crossing the screen. The show's visual language has been consistent. Blue skies mean hope, mean progress. They mean the Hive's inexorable forward march. And we're moving forward in time significantly. It's been 71 days since the joining. And this is the first thing we hear. We're in a village, specifically a Peruvian village compound, and immediately something's off. Not wrong, but calculated. Hive members are speaking to Kusamayu with reverence, preparing her favorite meals, engaging in what looks like genuine community life. But here's the tell. They're speaking to each other out loud, in front of her. Why would a telepathic collective need to verbally communicate? They don't. We already know from episode 8 that their communication is unconscious, like breathing. We already know they're silent in nearly every episode unless they're talking to one of the immune. This is all theater. They're performing humanity for her benefit, creating the illusion of normalcy to make her comfortable. Every warm word, every friendly glance between family members, it's a user interface, a biological hack designed to lower cortisol and raise oxytocin. They're not really having a conversation, they're just running a comfort subroutine. Kusamayu is wearing a white and blue gown, the same style as the hospital gowns from episode 5. She's already been integrated into the Hive's aesthetic, subtly signaling that she belongs with them now. Then there's a goat, black and white. Kusamayu's petting it, sitting in the pen with it. And this is also a callback to episode 8, Carol at the Rio Rancho Event Center, finding a turned person still with their dog. The dog was black and white too, and it wanted to stay with its owner. The Hive doesn't harm animals. Animals can't consent, so animals are left alone. But this goat is emotional leverage, and the message is clear. Look how carefully we preserve what you love. Look how safe your world remains with us. But watch what happens after. The goat becomes the most brutal indictment of the Hive's love in the entire series. A jeep arrives, carrying a box. The Hive members gather. They're singing, chanting what sounds like Quechua, or a regional Peruvian dialect. They've crafted an entire cultural performance around her turning. This isn't manipulation in the traditional sense. Kusamayu is making a conscious choice, and that's what makes it so unbearable. And here's the thing. They're not lying to her. The Hive genuinely doesn't see this as hurting her. In their framework, they're liberating her, upgrading her. They're giving her access to a form of consciousness so expansive and ecstatic that staying human would be the real cruelty. They open the cylinder and a smoky substance, the distilled essence of the joining virus, tailored to her specific genetics, rises up. It seems almost alive. The moment Kusamayu inhales the vapor and her body seizes, the performance ends. Singing stops instantly. They lay her down in a blanket, one final gesture of care, and then the family dynamic evaporates into utilitarian silence. No one is talking anymore. No one is singing. All the rituals are gone. Everything is just silence. They stand there, waiting, wordless, until her eyes open with that wide, empty smile. This proves that the benevolence was utility. The warmth Carol feels from Zosha is the same simulation, the same comfort subroutine. Once the target is acquired, the lure becomes irrelevant. And then comes the scene that nearly broke me. Kusumayu, now part of the collective, opens the pen. The black and white baby goat, her companion, her pet, the animal she was just cradling with love minutes ago, comes running out. The goat runs toward her, crying and desperate. It wants its mommy, and Kusumayo walks away, never glancing back at it. She doesn't pause or look down. She doesn't acknowledge this creature that loved her. She just smiles that vacant smile and goes back to work like her friend never existed. The goat is left alone. Kusumayu is truly gone. This is the Rosetta Stone for the entire series. The Hive claims to preserve memories. They claim Helen is still here, inside Zosha. They claim that joining is addition, not subtraction. But the goat proves the lie of omission. Hive doesn't preserve attachment. It preserves data. Kusumayu still has the memory of the goat. She just no longer cares about it. And if she can walk away from her crying pet without a flicker of recognition, what does that tell us about what's really left inside Zosha? Cut from Peru to Carol in her house with Zosha, both of them looking at a screen. There's an ambulance viewed from overhead. The Hive is tracking Manusos in real time. Carol asks what he wants, and Zosha says he won't talk to them, but he did receive Carol's first video. Zosha offers to leave before he arrives, but Carol decides to stay.
And it's not like he's dangerous, is he?
Zosha responds with a carefully worded,
"We don't think he'll ever hurt you."
He announces himself.
My name is Manuso Soyeo. I am not one of them. I wish to say hello.
And Carol invites him in, but Manusos won't enter her house. She wants to talk in the ambulance.
She ran away? She didn't stay and
She
get
goes
it?
inside to grab her phone to use a translator app, and then Manusos grabs her phone. Carol protests that it's in airplane mode, no signal, but Manusos isn't having it. He doesn't smash it in rage, but he drops it into a storm drain grate. Tactical asset denial. The link is severed. She storms back into the house. This is going just great. Eventually, Manusos compromises. He retrieves her phone and requests that they talk under an umbrella. Manusos' paranoia about Mercury satellites seems absurd until you remember the overhead tracking shot. The Hive has been tracking him for 9,000 kilometers. They knew exactly when he'd arrive. The umbrella is a sad, futile gesture toward privacy in a world where privacy no longer exists. Carol suggests going inside. The drones can't spy on them there, but Manusos isn't having it. And Carol says that's because she asks them to.
I asked them to.
It's funny, the translator app can't process her name, Carol Sturka.
Unknown, what her name?
Her own technology doesn't recognize her, and maybe that's the point. Carol is undefined. She's not resistance, not Hive. She's not really anything yet. She's trapped in the middle, like the analogy I mentioned a few episodes ago about Neo in the subway station. And here's where the ideological rift opens. Manusos calls the Hive evil, soul thieves. He says that they can't be fixed, they're better off dead. And Carol pushes back. They're still human beings. Manusos disagrees. They're not human anymore. But Carol insists they are just different. Too nice maybe, but not evil. They wouldn't even kill an ant.
A wasp, Peter. It is about to sting. Don't.
And Manusos hits her with a question she can't answer.
No say.
This is the entire show distilled into one exchange. Manusos represents the humanist position. Humans deserve special moral consideration because we're human. The Hive's radical egalitarianism, their refusal to privilege human consciousness over insect consciousness, is in his view a form of nihilism. If everything has equal value, then nothing has value. But Carol defends them.
Have you even tried talking to them? You could learn a thing or two. They can't lie. Did you know that?
They move inside Carol's house. Manusos immediately starts searching for surveillance devices, tearing through cabinets, checking behind furniture. Carol is exacerbated.
You're not going to find anything.
But then she does. In her liquor cabinet, Manusos finds a small plastic sensor, rectangular and tacky looking. And Carol calls Zosha.
Have you been spying on me? There is a thing in my liquor cabinet.
What kind of thing?
I don't know. Plastic, rectangular, kind of tacky looking, like something out of a James Bond movie.
And the answer is devastating in a completely different way than Carol expected. It's a motion sensor. It records when the cabinet is open, and the Hive didn't put it there. Helen did. Back in May of 2011, when Carol was freezing her eggs, Helen was monitoring Carol's drinking. The woman Carol loved was spying on her, and now the Hive has access to that data too. All of Helen's memories, including her suspicions about Carol's relationship with alcohol. Carol sets Manousos up in a nearby empty house for the night. As Carol gives Manousos the tour, pay attention to the lamps. There are 3 distinct egg-shaped lamps visible in the house, smooth and round. They look almost exactly like the small dots from the show's intro sequence. It's a subtle visual echo, connecting this ordinary suburban space to this cosmic imagery that opens every episode. Eggs, of course, will become devastatingly relevant before the episode ends. The production design throughout this house is doing the heavy lifting. On the walls, 2 vintage magician posters, an Alexander Crystal Seer Knows All Sees All advertisement, and a Thurston the Great poster, the famous early 20th century illusionist who billed himself as the wonder show of the universe. The thematic relevance is impossible to miss. The Hive knows all, sees all. They are the greatest illusionists on Earth, making 8 billion people believe they're happy while erasing everything that made them human. Manousos is sleeping in a dead family's house, surrounded by their possessions, under the watchful eyes of posters advertising exactly what the Hive has become. All-knowing, all-seeing masters of deception. But Manousos isn't satisfied with this arrangement.
This is no use.
And Carol's patience is gone.
Oh, so that big yellow thing parked outside is your ambulancia?
Carol falls asleep, the vodka doing its work. She wakes up to find Zosha in the Wilson house, sitting with Manousos. They've been talking.
What did you talk about, Zosha?
And Manousos answers in Spanish.
Oh.
I don't know what Todo means.
Carol is furious. Manousos asked specific, detailed questions, and the Hive answered every single one. They had to. It's their nature. They cannot lie. Before Zosha leaves at Carol's request, Manousos glances at something on the coffee table. A slightly open yellow book. Very yellow as Carol's jacket in the first episode. The book is The Story of Art by E.H. Gombrich. There's a famous opening line in this book. There really is no such thing as art. There are only artists. The Hive has inverted that completely. They've erased the artists, the individuals and the egos, the sufferers and the creators, and preserved only the art, the collective output without the singular voice. In a house where a family's humanity has been erased, where possessions sit orphaned, this yellow book feels like quite a eulogy for individual expression. And then Zosha says the thing that breaks something in Carol. They love Manousos the same way they love her.
You can't love him the same. It's not the same. It's different. He's a stranger. You barely know him. You told me so yourself. And we're... You're my chaperone.
Carol tells Zosha to stay away from him. And what happens next changes everything. Zosha lays on the floor, almost like she's gonna start Lamaze breathing. Then the convulsions start, and Carol panics. Manousos requested another, and what Manousos does next transforms him. Remember that Thurston the Great poster framed with Manousos? Look at it closely. It shows Thurston holding a skull, surrounded by spirits and demons, asking, "Did the spirits come back?" It's advertising a seance, a communion with the dead. Manousos is Thurston in this scene. He's performing his own seance. Manousos grabs the radio and tunes it to 8613, the frequency he's been monitoring since episode 5, the electromagnetic bleed-off of the Hive's collective consciousness. Normally, it produces a clear rhythmic beat pattern, the psychic glue of 8 billion synchronized minds. But now, the sound is garbled, wobbly like a theremin losing its signal. Whatever is happening to the Hive, this shutdown state we've seen a few times now, it can be heard on that frequency. The collective is destabilized. And Manousos leans in close to Rick's face, the radio crackling with eerie, otherworldly sounds, whispering like a man trying to summon a spirit back from the void. The whole thing looks almost religious, like an exorcism or a resurrection attempt. Manousos screaming into Rick's face, the creepy radio sounds swirling around them, that poster of Thurston and his spirits looming in the background, trying to pull Rick out of the Hive by sheer force of will, to call the dead back to life. The gun we've been waiting to see go off for 4 episodes finally done. Fortunately, only some drywall is injured. The phone rings. Laxmi again, another immune.
You made everyone cry.
And you gave your chaperone a heart attack. What is wrong with you?
Screw you too, Lakshmi.
They've had this conversation before, but then the apologies start. Hive asking
Black
where
girl, come
Medusos
on,
is,
let me heal
assuring
you.
Carol he warned them before he did what he did. They're sorry that it came to this. And that detail, that he warned us first, is significant. Back under the umbrella, Medusos said the Hive members weren't human anymore, but now he warned them, gave them a chance to lay down before his experiment. That's not how you treat things you consider non-human. Somewhere in that conversation with Zosha, in those hours of questions and answers, Medusos learned something. He still wants to fix them, but he started to see them as people worth saving rather than just nodes to be destroyed. And then comes the Exodus, the same pattern from episode 5. The Hive won't fight, so they flee. They're evacuating Albuquerque for the second time, the entire city emptying out. Medusos sees this as victory. He's convinced that there's a way to put things back in their place.
Ahora tocó trabajar.
Now the work begins.
Carol Surka.
Unknown order name.
Carol Surka, ¿quiere salvar el mundo o quiere salvar a su chica?
Unknown order name. Do you want to save the world or get the girl?
And Carol doesn't answer. She gets in the car and drives away to follow Zosha. What follows is a montage spanning multiple locations over about 2 weeks. Carol and Zosha swimming, walking on a beach, laughing in a bathtub. The charm offensive is at its most seductive. This isn't Carol being held captive. She's choosing to do this. She's choosing Zosha. She's choosing to feel good for once in her life. There's a shot of Carol by Poole reading a book. It's The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. For those unfamiliar, Le Guin's novel is about an envoy from a galactic confederation visiting an alien world where the inhabitants have no fixed gender. They can become male or female. The book is steeped in Taoist philosophy, exploring how opposites define and complete each other. The title comes from the Gathenian proverb, light is the left hand of darkness, and darkness is the right hand of light. The two are one, life and death lying together. The themes align almost perfectly with Pluribus. Identity transformation, an outsider trying to understand an alien way of being, the question about whether connection is possible across fundamentally different forms of consciousness. And at its core, the idea that light and darkness aren't opposites, they're two aspects of the same whole. They exit a cable car and walk through the snow. Look at the equipment. There's a pair of ski boots with the brand name clearly visible. Comic. Not subtle, but very relevant. The show is preparing us for what's coming. They enter a building with huge glass windows. This is the one and only Moonlight Basin Resort in Big Sky, Montana. And there's a Montana book visible on the table. The one and only Moonlight Basin location is loaded with meaning. One and only, E pluribus unum, from many one. Moonlight connects to the Amaranth and Slipsand prophecy from Carol's books, the twin moons, the void where consciousness disappears. The resort is a temple to the Hive's theology. Carol sits with her feet up by an open fire, finally at peace, isolated, pampered, contained in a frozen wilderness, a luxury panopticon at the edge of the world. And then Carol asks about the original Zosha, the woman who existed before the joining. Did she have someone, a partner, a life? The answer is yes, and no, they're not in there with her now. That person is simply gone. This leads Carol to an uncomfortable admission. She doesn't know how to just feel good. All these happy chemicals are flooding her system, the serotonin, dopamine, and the oxytocin, but she keeps waiting for the other shoe to drop. Zosha assures her that it only gets better, and that's when Carol's guard snaps back up.
You're not talking about the joining, are you?
Better? Better means only one thing coming from the Hive. She runs through the logic she's been clinging to for weeks. The Hive needs her stem cells to convert her. Stem cells require a painful extraction from her hip, and that extraction requires her consent, because without consent, it's torture, and the Hive's entire network would feel it. Therefore, as long as Carol refuses, she's untouchable. But Zosha's response isn't, that's right, it's, that would be correct.
That would be correct.
Carol catches the conditional immediately.
Would.
There's another way, and because the Hive can't lie, Zosha's silence confirms it. Her frozen eggs, the ones she stored with Helen back in 2011, the same year Helen was secretly monitoring her drinking. The Hive has them, and they're working on converting those eggs into induced pluripotent stem cells. It's delicate work, Zosha admits, fragile but possible. Here's the biological legalism at play. The Hive's constraint is pain, not permission. Extracting cells from Carol's living hip causes pain. Extracting cells from frozen eggs causes no pain. There's no nervous system to register. The eggs are abandoned hardware in their framework. By processing genetic material that can't suffer, they're technically adhering to their pacifist code while bypassing Carol's consent entirely. And the timeline is 1 to 3 months. Watch the cinematography here. Before the revelation, Carol is framed on the right side of the screen, the camera fixed to her right during the over-the-shoulder conversation shots. After she figures out the egg situation, the camera inverts. She shifts to the left. Light is on the left hand of darkness, and darkness is on the right hand of light. The show is repositioning.
Give me half. Where is it? I found it. He didn't find it. I found it. Stuck at finding that thing.
Carol from light to shadow, from right to left, as her world collapses. The Charm Offensive was never a negotiation. It was an incubation period that kept her calm, kept her comfortable, and kept her distracted with beach vacations and fireside chats while the lab work progressed in the background. Sosha tries to frame this as a gift. She mentions Kusumayu, the girl from the cold open, and how happy she is now. Carol can talk to her directly if she wants proof, but Carol doesn't want proof. She wants out.
Please understand, we have to do this because we love you. Because I love you.
And there it is, the entire thesis of the show spoken out loud. The Hive's love isn't a lie, it's just operating from a framework where love means erasing your autonomy for your own transcendence. They're not pretending to care about Carol. They genuinely believe they're saving her. That's what makes it so terrifying. Now we're back in Albuquerque, the cul-de-sac. Manousos has been working alone for days. When we see inside the house, there are books scattered around. He's been to the library and he's been studying. One book in particular catches the eye: Faraday, Maxwell, and the Electromagnetic Field. This is significant. In previous videos, we theorized about using a Faraday cage to disconnect Hive members from the collective, creating an electromagnetic shield that blocks their telepathic signal. Seeing Manousos reading about Faraday makes this hypothesis far more plausible. He's researching the science of electromagnetic isolation. A helicopter appears overhead, carrying a cubic container. It drops the box in the cul-de-sac, then lands. Carol steps out, and Zosha is piloting. She lifts off again immediately, leaving Carol behind with Manousos. Carol is now dressed in all black. In Le Guin's framework, the left hand of darkness is light. The two are inseparable. But Carol's transformation feels more like an embrace of the shadow side. She's moving from the person who defended the Hive to Manousos, they're still human beings, to something harder, something willing to consider an atom bomb. Carol looks at him and looks at the box. Here's the thing about Vince Gilligan. He doesn't show you a weapon unless it's going to go off at some point. In Breaking Bad in Season 5, Walt had an M60 machine gun, and it went off several episodes later. A few episodes ago, Carol asked for a grenade, and it went off that same episode. Then, of course, there's the gun. We saw the gun from a few episodes that she got from the police car, and it went off this episode. Now we have Chekhov's atom bomb. The Hive delivered a nuclear weapon to Carol because she asked for one. They can't say no to direct requests from the immune. It causes them pain to refuse. The bomb will be used. The only question is, for what purpose? I want to acknowledge something. In my previous video, I speculated that Manousos might not survive the season based on the 8613 frequency and some visual clues, but I missed a detail. There was a medication bottle visible in the ambulance that suggests he was taking his antibiotics, so I'm retracting that prediction for now. But the 8613 number still stands out to me. It's too specific to be random. Maybe he's not dying this season, maybe he's the first to die next season, or maybe the theory is completely bunk. We'll see. Sometimes the evidence leads somewhere unexpected. Here are my predictions for Season 2. The weapon will work, but not how Carol expects. The weapon is an EMP, Connect the dots. Minusos is reading about Faraday and Maxwell. The hive operates on electromagnetic frequencies. If the bomb is detonated in the upper atmosphere, it wouldn't destroy cities. It would create an EMP that severs the hive's connection across an entire region, creating a massive dead zone where the signal can't reach. A forced exorcism. This would answer Thurston's question, do the spirits come back, with a violent, physics-based yes. Either way, that sarcastic request for an atom bomb many episodes ago is about to become the most consequential joke in human history. I also think Carol will try to destroy her eggs. At some point in Season 2, Carol will locate the facility where her eggs are being processed, or request that they be brought to her and destroy them. This becomes her line in the sand, her statement that her body belongs to her, even the parts she froze years ago. But it will come at a cost. Maybe it triggers a hive response. Maybe it puts Zosha in danger, as I think she still wants to believe there's someone under the mask. Before she exited the helicopter, there was a flicker of something in Carol's eyes. Doubt, maybe. She's chosen a side, but she hasn't given up on Zosha completely. Save the world or get the girl? Maybe Carol's answer is both. I also think at least one more immune will turn willingly. Kusamayu wasn't the last volunteer. Someone else, maybe Laxmi or Diabate, will see her happiness and choose the same path. This will fracture the resistance from within and force Carol to confront whether she's fighting for humanity's freedom or just for her own fear of change. The title of this video promised a lie, and here it is. Zosha's love was real, the feelings were genuine, but the purpose of the romance was a lie. While Zosha was holding Carol's hand by the fire, or taking her on beach vacations, making her feel safe and loved, the hive was processing her frozen eggs in a lab somewhere. The charm offensive wasn't courtship, but distraction. Keep Carol calm and comfortable. Keep her choosing Zosha over resistance. The hive genuinely believes they're saving Carol. They genuinely care about her. That's not the lie. The lie is that the romance was never about her choice. It was always about running out the clock until her choice didn't matter anymore. We tell ourselves that love respects boundaries, that love means accepting someone as they are, that love never forces or coerces, never overrides consent for your own good. The hive's love does none of that, and it's still love. That's what makes Blurvis so much more than a typical invasion story. Season 1 ends with Carol making a choice. Not the choice to resist, not the choice to accept, but the choice to fight back, to build something that might destroy the hive entirely. Is that heroism or suicide? Is it defiance, or is it exactly what they wanted? Season 2 will answer that question, and I have a feeling we won't like what we hear. If you made it this far, you're clearly as obsessed with this show as I am. Drop a comment with your theories. Is the atom bomb a weapon or an ignition key? Will Carol destroy the hive or accidentally complete their transmission? And a massive shout out to Spidey for the volunteer theory, and Hallie Refined for the cave theory, and everyone in the community who's been workshopping these ideas in the comments. You are all co-investigators. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I think Season 2 is going to be a philosophical bloodbath, and I'll be breaking down every frame around a year or two from now. Oh god, we have to wait that long? And if you want to see more theory videos like this, consider becoming a channel member. Members get early access to new breakdowns, and every new video helps me get closer to doing this full time. Thanks for watching, stay human, and don't drink the milk. Or do. I guess that's kind of the whole point of the show. You get to pick. And speaking of crazy genetic manipulation, click on this video to see my Jurassic Park theory where I prove that John Hammond is a massive con artist. You don't want to miss that one.
I don't even care that cunt went down to the basement first thing. Got herself hooked down there. Ah, I missed the whole end of that. Sure, he didn't say anything. I sorry now. He didn't during the rest. No. I think that's be able to.
Do you ever get that unnerving feeling in the pit of your stomach? Your heart murmurs and pounds, you just feel sick and you want to throw up. I play a lot of horror games, and it's not every game that I feel that. So I watch Hollow. In fact, he was one of my inspirations for starting YouTube. But he brought the video recently covering his game, and the title was like, I've never been so uncomfortable, or something like that. I watched like a
Hey,
minute
that's
of
the
his intro
asshole
and
that
stopped
fucking
because I was like, damn,
blocked the
he's been doing
goddamn
this
path
longer than
for us to
I
start
am,
the
or I
match.
have,
Fuck
and he
everything
feels
up from the
uncomfortable.
first second.
I think this is something that I want to experience for myself. And yeah, consider this your warning for extremely dark but very real content ahead. It's got to do with SAR, specifically for men, which is a topic that really isn't discussed too often, but it is still very serious. And I think it's because there's this stigma that, you know, you're a man, so, you know, look, if you didn't know, I served in the military. During my time, I unfortunately worked with people who were victims, but what I will say is that when the victim was a girl, it blew up, as it should, of course. But when the victim was a male, they were not taken seriously. They were brushed off, or the guy just never spoke about it. It's sad, but I really like the message that the game portrays here. I got all the endings. I read on Steam that Super Horror Bro reached out to the devs, and the devs actually cut one of the endings, leaving only 4 endings in total instead of 5. Reason being was that they felt that the message of that ending that they cut could have been misconstrued and put out the wrong message. I didn't understand it completely. I didn't read about what exactly the ending entails. I think that cut ending basically had the potential to effectively say something like, maybe I just should stay and take the abuse that I'm receiving, or something like that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, this game made me so uncomfortable, especially as a man. This made me feel gross. I felt disgusted. I didn't even really do anything. I told my wife about this game, and she was like, it sounds like being a woman. I love my wife, and I'm happy to be the one to keep her safe in every dimension. But this is a sickening story. But I encourage you to hit the like button, let the algorithm do its thing, spread the message, especially for this message. The comment section is always a welcoming place as long as your vibes are right. But since you're still here, welcome to... In the beginning, there was darkness. Only the sounds of water dripping could be heard as our unnamed protagonist thought to himself that he is so tired of this shitty reality he has dragged himself. How he wishes he never had to wake up again. Depression, SI, what is his home environment like? These are things I begin to wonder. Does he keep sleeping or does he get up? Deciding to sleep more, when he does eventually wake up, he's standing in endless blood waters with an imposing and giant figure up ahead. But the log on top right says, "Talk to Mom." So that's our mom? Approaching her dreadfully, she chastises him for waking up late, but he can't seem to differentiate whether or not this is all a dream. He thought it was, but hallucinations? Speechless, she berates him further, angry that he can't even speak up. She calls him useless, and then says that she is done with him. He's only got 5 days to get out of her house. Well, good morning to you too, he mumbles. Mother blows up, demanding to know what he said, and that he should say it to her face. He pleads and asks why she's always this way, and she admonishes him even further. He's always on his laptop, eating her food, paying nothing, being a waste of space, of life. Probably nothing he hasn't already told himself. He can't even argue against it. So he just says, "Okay, Mom." She says good, but then reminds us that the sound of a man humming, and phone ringing, walls with skullings decorated on them, trash bags and flies, a voided ceiling. Is this how he sees the world? Coins on the table, wine-stained paper with numbers crossed out. He finally picks up the phone. Somebody named Radek enthusiastically greets him, glad he didn't ghost him. He's been out of contact with him for 2 years, though. Explaining the situation, Radek says that he'll talk to his uncle, his boss, and land him a position at his workplace. When we ask him what's the catch, Radek says there is none. Just don't ghost me again. I don't like owing anybody anything, but we don't have any choice. We start work tomorrow, proceeding down the hall. Noticing a boombox on the floor as well as a rug with a spider on it, I begin to wonder what the symbolism for that is. Our protagonist begins walking towards the door, but he stops when he hears a banging. 3 days. The next day, we enter the building. It's quiet. bar the sounds of our footsteps, the same buzzing of flies, and the humming of electricity. The other weird thing I noticed are the posters, rather peculiar, quite sexual in nature, as if hinting at an underlying theme. One of them even reminds me of Puff Daddy, or being drugged. Of course, not all of them are like that, but if you're wondering why the beavers, it's a nod to the game devs. I think it's also interesting how the icon to interact with Radek is a mouth. Finally speaking with him, he's happy to see the main character. Says he looks good. He emphasizes that he stuck his neck out for him to get this job, then explains how to do it. He'll throw boxes at us, we fill it with the right products, and hand it back. He says it's a 10-hour shift, but our guy thought it was supposed to be 8. So Radek lied. He claps back, saying it's rude to interrupt him, and that he wants them to finish up early so they can spend some time together after work. Something's off about this guy. His energy, the way he looks at us, the way he speaks to us in confusing ways, like, here. He compliments us by calling us a superstar, always jokingly. Then he follows up with a backhanded comment about actually being useful, before emphasizing to not make him regret vouching for us. So, we get the job done with time to spare. One thing I question is why do we throw boxes into a black void? Why can't we see in there? He compliments me, saying he didn't expect me to finish early, asking what our protagonist has been up to, and hurt that he ghosted them being Radek and their
Oh yeah, I forgot. I can talk out loud, can't I?
He responds that he just needed space from everybody. Radek thinks
forgot.
for a beat, then starts talking about how messed up the protagonist is, while redirecting focus onto his own pain, saying that he should reconnect with their old friends, including somebody named Varric. Radek tells the protagonist that he's treating them like trash, that he's overreacting and misunderstanding something. The MC firmly says that he knows fully well what happened, but doesn't exactly say what the situation is, but also that his therapy helped him to see it clearly. When he did see it clearly, he confronted Varric about it, but Varric chose to continue being a toxic asshat. So the protagonist cut him off. He says, "My boundaries stay. That's fine."
This video is about a game called No Means Nothing. It seems to be about a rapist. I think the protagonist doesn't. I can't tell. I'm not listening to that well.
At this, Radek's face contorts to a more serious look and tells him to relax
I was busy
because he's
bitching
being
at
sensitive.
people.
He continues that he should have just confided in him over a stranger. But the protagonist knows that Radek would have just said to keep being friends with Varric.
For real, I would have been. I was waiting for
brushes
her
that
to
aside
unhook herself.
and just says
like,
that
why
people
the
make
fuck did
mistakes,
she unhook herself?
saying that the protagonist was the one who burned entire relationships
Well,
over
clearly,
one
because
bad
she
chapter.
didn't have that part,
Once
but
again,
she
calling
had
him a dick,
her little
saying that
invitation to
he
sit in
was
the
one that hurt
basement.
people.
So why
Remember,
the
there are
fuck didn't she have
timestamps.
one to unhook
I'm going to talk about Psych a little bit here, and because there's not really a lot of footage to go around, I'm just going to put up some random footage from like Kingdom Come Deliverance or Cyberpunk 2077.
cares
There's also a
if the
reference
killer
to
is 2
Cyberpunk
floors up?
2077 in one of the
A
endings here
really
that you'll
good
see.
time to
But I'm
sneak
going to
down
start
to the
doing
basement.
this, by the way, in case
He's
you're wondering.
busy
Whenever I
chasing
go on
somebody
tangents
else,
for
hooking
too long,
somebody
there's not
else.
footage. I'm just going to
2 floors
put
away.
up some other game. So, what Radek is doing here is something that I actually talked about 2 videos ago or 3 videos ago, by the time this gets posted, in the Cat Lady, which stands for deny, attack,
Even if
reverse
I don't
victim,
point at
and
you,
offender.
fuck
And so what it is
Yeah,
a reaction. It's a predictable reaction that
I gotta
somebody,
play
in
with
this
the
case
killer.
Radek, uses when they feel exposed or confronted. This behavior is something that people see all the time in healthy relationships, friendships, family dynamics. It all starts with denial. The person refuses to accept the other person's experience as valid. Radek does this when he tells the protagonist that he misunderstood something, or when he insists that the situation is actually not that serious as the protagonist thinks it is. He actively chooses to ignore the fact that the main character already processed the event in therapy and reached a clear conclusion. Radek never addresses what the protagonist says. He just treats his own interpretation as the only version
Maybe
that
it'll be a
exists.
fun pick.
That is a denial of the other person's reality. The next
They
step
came
is
this way.
attack.
What the fuck?
This part shows up fast in Radix' reaction. He calls the protagonist messed up. He claims that he is treating them all like trash. He tells them that he's being sensitive. He throws blame around to force emotional pressure back onto the protagonist. The goal of attack in Darvo is simple. It shifts the attention away from the original problem and back onto the person who tried to set a boundary. The final step is reversal of victim and offender, RVO. This is where the person flips the entire dynamic and positions themselves as the victim. Basically, Radix takes the victim, which is the main character, and says, you're not actually the victim, I'm the victim, and you are the offender. But our protagonist never attacked him. Not once. The only thing he did was state his boundaries. He said he needed space. He says therapy helped him out of the situation, whatever that situation was. He says his boundary stays and he's not going to change
Fuck
it.
me.
But Radix is treating those statements as if they were acts of hostility. And that reaction tells me that he is not responding to the content of the conversation. What Radix is more concerned about is his loss of control that comes from somebody stepping out of an old dynamic. Remember, these guys used to hang out, they used to slum it together. There was a certain pecking order, a way of doing things, and Radix wants things to go back to that. But a moment like this reveals so much about what's about to happen. Radix's loyalty to Varric, when Radix minimizes Varric's behavior, pushing the idea of reconnecting, it shows a lot of layers of this pattern. What he's doing is he's protecting the old structure of the group. He's really focused
take that thing
on
off your head.
trying to put things back to the way that they were. He wants that dynamic, that pecking order to be reestablished. The reason that Radix doesn't want the protagonist to have any clarity is because that clarity weakens his influence. The entire exchange is a straightforward example of boundary punishment. What does Radix do when the protagonist says, hey, my boundary stays and that's fine? What does Radix do next? He starts guilting him, shaming him, using moral pressure, emotional framing. He's attacking, he's like escalating his steps to try and break the main character down. And so the next thing I want to talk about comes from narcissistic defense patterns. I'm not diagnosing Radix, by the way. I think it's important to be clear that there's a straight up difference between narcissistic patterns, traits, and tendencies versus calling somebody a narcissist. But this behavior, or Radix's behavior, his behavior shows traits that match defenses that people use when they try to rely on control in order to feel stable. This shows a lot about Radix himself, right? The actions that he's doing are more of a reflection of who he is on the inside. He is not stable. You know what they say, misery needs company. Radix doesn't like that the MC has his own independence now. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to pull the situation back into a shape that protects his own ego. That was Radix's immediate go-to reaction the moment that the protagonist said that he needed space from everybody. You're overreacting, you're being sensitive, you're misunderstanding things. My version of events is the correct one, and you don't know what you're talking about. Another piece of this is the belief that somebody owes them emotional access, right? Because for somebody like Radix, it's important for them to have friends that they can control because it gives them, or it helps their own entitlement grow stronger. You see what he's doing or trying to do it? He's trying to plant psychological seeds off the rip. We just met this guy and he's already doing all of this. The guy is trying his absolute best to destabilize the MC. Like, this guy has his head on straight now. Let me work that. Shaming and guilting somebody is like a really fast way to throw them off their mental game. And I see this a lot in relationships, especially when it comes to parents talking to their kids. Parents use shame and guilt quite often. It's actually pretty ridiculous. Along the same tangent, back to Radix, he's got this aggressive defensive push for emotional superiority. If you're paying attention, or if you look back at everything that he says and how and when, you're gonna see that Radix talks as if he understands the situation better than
Dude, go finish my generator, assbag! Well, it's too late now. Fucking leader.
This just shows how insecure
Stay long
he
enough,
actually
leader,
is,
away from
because
that,
anybody
damn it.
who is an authority or anybody who has power never has to say that they have power. They're never going to try and enforce it. If Radek admits that the protagonist made a rational decision, then Radek has to accept that his friend grew without him, outside of his control. I know for
Good
a
night,
motherfucking
Chase.
fact that you have had at least one friend or one parent who tried to obsessively control you like that. They push back on your boundaries as if a healthy limit that you set for yourself is an offense that they need to correct. They invalidate, minimize, reframe to dominate the interpretive meaning of everything. People with this in real life deal with this more often than they realize. A person who hears these manipulative tactics from somebody they trust can lose their footing fast. Gaslighting goes crazy. Victims start to doubt their own memory, their own emotions, and even their own rights to set limits further than they already tried. I've seen people fold under this kind of pressure because they were trained, conditioned, usually from youth, by their parents to protect the relationship instead of protecting themselves. Their parents will often tell them something along the lines of, "It's not about you, it's about all of us." But really, what they're saying is, "It's about me, not you." And so those kids end up carrying guilt that was never theirs, and they adjust their behaviors around somebody who never adjusts in return. This is how a lot of victims get trapped in patterns that they cannot name. The foundational level. It always starts at home with the people who brought you into this world. Think about that. Your schools, your families have probably trained you to accept and to be a certain way. Speaking of, while we're still here, I also want to have a brief discussion about his mom, the home environment, how he views the world. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I want to get back to the story, and some of you guys are probably getting tired of hearing an analysis in a quote-unquote story explained video. But to understand more about everything, we have to first consider the very first thing that we see. Sorry, the wording was weird there. The very first thing that we see as the viewers, which is how the protagonist views the world. He doesn't literally see anything at first. It's just black. It's just a void, endless dark. And then eventually it's he's surrounded in this domain on red waters. And then his mother appears as a giant creature, a monster that fills his entire vision. Her shape is distorted. You can't even really see her face. She is overwhelming. The protagonist isn't seeing things as they actually are. Remember, he even questions himself, wondering if this was all a dream. And so when she scolds him, this tells me that he is not seeing her as she might actually be. He is seeing her as his nervous
Fucking retard, I'm doing
has learned
something.
to interpret her. And this has likely been going, or this has been
damn.
going on for probably some time. Sure.
I hate
know, I'm
black
pretty sure
light.
she's got her reasons. She's got her own stress.
I hate
but
them
her
more
boy
when I'm
is
playing a
obviously
survivor
hurting,
than when
and
I'm killer.
She, as the parent, needs to guide the being that she brought into this existence. However, I digress from her. The sort of image that the protagonist forms is one when somebody has learned to associate a caregiver with danger. It creates a mental environment where everything feels dreadfully unreal. This is the kind of inner landscape we see in people who unfortunately struggle with depression and suicidal thinking. Every day is doomed. They see themselves as a burden. They assume that the world has nothing for them, and they have nothing for the world. Now, it's not mentioned, but I do think we should consider that there is not a father in this picture. There's never a father mentioned. So, noticing this, we can think about how a missing father can also weaken the structure that the protagonist and his mother might have depended on, which contributes to his mom being a hostile parent, right? Because being a single parent is not an easy thing to do, right? It's hard when there's already two parents. It takes a village, right? And so this creates stress on the mom. And, when you're frustrated as a parent, you tend to lash out. And so the insults from his mother echo inside of the main protagonist. Her language becomes a way that describes his own self-worth. When somebody grows up hearing that they're a waste of space, the mind internalizes this message to their very core. It becomes a pit that absorbs every attempt at confidence. It's not like this guy is not trying. I'm pretty sure people in this situation, tell themselves to, stop thinking a certain way, that they're trying to. But the world he sees reflects the beliefs he carries about himself. It's external being thrusted into his internal. He's isolated. What's the best way to say that? External thrusted into... I'll think about that. I'm still learning how to script things. But now we can understand why he thinks of himself as he does, especially with his mom telling him all of these
God damn it.
evil, nasty things. And now we know a little bit more about why he can't see reality. But there is another piece to all of this, something involving what Radek and the protagonist mentioned when talking about Varric. When they talked about the protagonist understanding what exactly happened.
Oh gee, are
and
you
then
too busy to
Francis
stop
Varric
and do
begs the
anything right
question,
now, lady?
What exactly
Why is that?
happened? Because if something traumatic happens to the MC, that trauma would definitely have contributed to how he sees himself. It also might explain why he's struggling just to fucking do anything. But you might be wondering, if his old friends really were that bad, why reconnect with Radek at all in the first place? Honestly, it's kind of an easy and simple answer. It's not like the best answer, it's not something that you should, do, but it's something that people do. Desperation, survival. The protagonist has no safe space, nowhere else to go, and Radek initially presents himself as a lifeline with, in his words, no catch, no strings attached. So now the protagonist gets pushed to the edge, understandably gets enraged. He says, "Screw you, Radek, this is exactly the toxic shit that I'm trying to avoid." And at first, Radek is silent, but then he tells him chill out, once again calling him sensitive. This causes the protagonist to just leave. And this is where we see what his therapy sessions look like. As he tells her what happened, we see that the therapist is a monster, except her name is the inner critic. So now, I'm thinking that this is something happening in his mind. I'm sure at some point he
Idiot
went to an
keeps
actual
going back
therapist,
to that one
but for right now we see
person.
him.
That was a good idea when they had her busy.
A stressful event happened. He retreats into himself, trying to mediate, manage the situation. This is a representation of the voice inside of our heads, because we often talk to ourselves, right? At least I do. When we're being introspective, we're mulling things over, we talk to ourselves. I'm an overthinker, if you can tell with my videos. And I go around in circles a lot because I have a lot of ideas and I write them all down for these scripts. And sometimes I go back and forth, but I also have my wife, and she is also my soundboard. Did I say I love my wife? But his inner voice has the name Critic.
I'll do
Somebody
it, I don't
criticizes. However, she doesn't say
give a
anything
fuck.
this time. She stays quiet. Can any of you tell me why? No, seriously, tell me why, because I don't know why she doesn't say anything. I've done multiple playthroughs this first round, she never says anything. Anyway, the second day of work, the protagonist goes around and it feels like the entire place has expanded. Hallways that weren't there before now are, and on the other side of the building, in a different hall, there is a bathtub at the very end. So, is this place even real? Why is there a random bathtub? Things take a terrible turn here. Radek greets me the next day at work with a creepy and unsettling face, like I'm a piece of meat. He says, "Your ass is looking juicy." I'm like, "Bro, what the fuck?" Then he says he was just joking, but to also take it as a compliment, meaning he wasn't actually joking. I tell him to cut it the fuck out, but he's just like, "I'll be at work," and also, "Don't distract me in that shirt." I don't let that slide. I confront him. I tell him to say what he actually means. And he continues, saying, "I look cute when I'm mad. It's not funny. Not one bit." I'm alone in this enclosed space with this guy, and he's making blatant and aggressive advances.
Fine.
After I told him to stop. I'm uncomfortable. I don't feel safe. Then he says that he's got something to cheer me up tonight. I don't know what to say. He tells me what the job is for the day, to put the products on the shelves. Before I start, I ask if he's going to help, and he just says it's called motivational staring, to lift with my legs because he needs them back in one piece. Noticing a bell on the desk, I ring it multiple times, and apparently it's just something that you can do to skip having to do with the work if you just want to get through the game. But that gorge in my stomach that's making me feel sick feel disgusting, feel violated, feel like I'm with a predator, is growing wider and deeper. I feel so uncomfortable and unsettled.
Not really listening to that. Honesty. Oh. Move on. I keep like opening a video and then deciding that one and going back over and over. This video is called Best Forgotten Horror Game. I have no mouth and I must scream. I would hardly call that a forgotten game. Forget, but Just haven't heard for that. Never seen anybody open one of those so quick. Why are you gonna bring him over here? Thanks. I give up. I give up. Basement's over here, dude. Hey, if you want to do big fucking chases right off the bat, like, just get the perk for it. That way you know which gen to fucking stay away from. You're just now. How long ago did he pull me away from here? Yeah, take your fucking panties over there. Sure, he's coming straight back. Don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. What's down here? You're gonna want to come around this way. Good job. You got your favorite. Glad I get your favorite hook. Oh, look at the theater right there. I'm back. Is this like a bet where every time the killer comes after them, they try to run straight toward me? It is. Every time the killer comes after them, straight back toward me again. This way this time. Ah. Another one over this way. Oh, that's not Pop? What the fuck is Rick doing? Fucking generator. What are you doing, Rick? Idiot. I did the last time. Hey. very shiny pipe. Oh gosh. How are you doing that? I don't think you can do that, sir.
Hold that
I
thought.
guess he's strong.
It's my turn.
I am not disconnected. I am not. You shut up. I don't need any. It's just that. Pick one I need. Might do. Trail. Test. I mean, I have done that in a couple of these. Why not? I don't care if I get it that way. Okay. Any bonuses for the last 35? Alright, it keeps happening. Go ahead and try one more time though, because I'm not really going to bed soon. Yeah, I wouldn't mind turning off watching TV for a while. Actually, what I turn on, that would be. What's the... oh. I thought that said Cock Tower. It says Clock Tower. Like... let me? Really gonna let... for real? Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna... I'm gonna go to bed. Fuck the game. The game. Loading. Come on, let me turn it off. Oh, I got an achievement. From the killer with pallet while they are carrying a survivor 5 times. Done that more than 5 times? I haven't done that more. Damn. I never really try to do that, I guess. I always hate it when they do that to me, so I don't try to do it to them. Like, I'm not on a team. I mean, I am, but, you know, I'm not playing with other people. Like, never really the right spot to do that. A couple times I have been. A couple times I was like, oh shit, I should have used the power. Yep.